Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. 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 Can I get everyone's attention? Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hello. I thought maybe my voice would work. It's helping. It's working. Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Ola Morsy's farewell. Thank you all for being here today. Dean of Students, thank you. Thank you. Our wonderful Dean of Students, Jorgen Marcel, would like to say a few words about Dr. Ola. We would love your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Iman. Good afternoon, all, and thank you for joining us today. You can't hear me well. Can you hear me now? All right. So again, good afternoon to all. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon as we celebrate and bid farewell to a very, very valuable member of our community who has served this university for a very long time, 2 decades to be precise. All of you, most of you, I'm sure, are aware. Ola joined, Dr. Ola Morsy joined AUC first as a part-time counselor at the Tahrir campus in 2001. After a short stint in England, she returned to us in 2004 and eventually became a full-time psychiatrist with the Center for Student Wellbeing in 2009. She is famously recognized, known for her compassion, empathy, her breadth of knowledge of the psychiatric and therapeutic field, and as always, and every time I think of Ola, I always think of her with that warm smile, even through the most difficult of times and difficult of conversations. Above all else, she has always been an advocate for her team, for the students, and for AUC. As you know, as most of you would also know, Dr. Ola also taught a class here at the university. Her course was biopsychology, and she started teaching in 2013, a class that has been often referred to as one of the favorites by students in that major. And Dr. Ola in 2015 became the director of the Center for Student Wellbeing, and in 2018, the senior director for the center, overseeing the academic risk counseling services as well as student accessibility services. And it is something that we have encountered a lot of times in the days as we are trying to restructure the CSW. Is one of the key elements that her team will miss from Ola is her contribution to their supervision and the work that she did in supporting them and helping them grow as individuals and as professionals. And as always, being a pivotal person and personality in guiding some of our most vulnerable students in their most dark and most grim times in their journey as students at AUC, and as always, putting the needs of their mental health above all other priorities. Over the years, as evident by the attendance here today, I have no doubt, Dr. Ola has worked with just about every academic department on campus and to some extent has touched the lives of everybody on this campus. I have no doubt about that, okay? I've been here only 2 years. The impact, her presence, that she has made on both the staff, the faculty, and students is undeniable. and I think will leave a lasting impression in their lives, not just in their time at AUC. So this event here is a very small way of really trying to say thank you, because I don't think there is enough to say thank you. There's not enough that can be done to say thank you. Okay. As we say, you know, as my short time as a member of this community, once an AUCN, always an AUCN, and Dr. Ola definitely is an AUCN. And this is evidence that this campus will always be her home. And I hope that we look forward to seeing her engage with this community in other ways. We look forward to hearing about what the future will hold for her, which I have no doubt will be thrilling and amazing. And I look forward to hopefully staying connected and engaged together. She's been a very valuable member of my staff and team as I joined this campus and helping me grow and learn how to work with this community. And again, I thank you all for showing up here today and sharing in your own way how meaningful and how impactful her work, her personality, her love, and her care has been to all of you and in helping you do the work that you've done for our university and community. Thank you. So, of course, as is custom, we have, beyond this event today, we have a small token to recognize and thank Ola for her time with us and for her work. For over 20 years of exceptional support and dedication to AUC and advocacy for the community mental health. I'd like to present Dr. Ola Morsy with this plaque. So the team at the CSW has tirelessly worked and have put together a video to hopefully begin to convey just how impactful and meaningful 20 years of Ola's work and support has meant to them, to our students and the community. I will let them introduce this video to you shortly.
This is not the end of our life. When being stuck doesn't mean that it's, khalas, we're hopeless. You will feel how resilient you are, being bumped by certain hardships and then going up again and then going up again, even when things are repeatedly not very fortunate. You will really feel that it was, when you felt the story was over, actually it wasn't over at all. It was just the beginning.
In the heart of AUC, a journey began, a journey of compassion, dedication, and unwavering belief in the power of mental health. Dr. Ola Morsy's story is woven into the tapestry of this institution.
Become impatient when watching something like a proper speech or a proper presentation or something like that.
In 1991, Dr. Morsy graduated from Faculty of Medicine, Ain Shams University, aiming to specialize in psychiatry. She obtained her Master's of Science degree in Neurology and Psychiatry in 1996, and then obtained her Arab Board certification in Psychiatry in 2001. She was studying and working under the world-renowned professor of psychiatry, Dr. Ahmed Akasha, former president of World Psychiatric Association and former director of WHO, Collaborating Center for Research and Training in Mental Health recently renamed the Akasha Institute of Psychiatry.
Dr. Morsy first joined AUC as a part-time counseling psychiatrist at the old campus in 2001, when the counseling center was a small center at the top floor of a building on Yusuf El Guindi Street. She moved to England shortly after, only to return once again in 2004, marking the beginning of a long journey of dedication to AUC, its students, and a mission to set the stage for community-wide mental health. She was asked to work as a full-time psychiatrist in the center in 2009.
They are very sensitive when the person goes into stress by any means.
Dr. Morsy joined the psychology department teaching faculty in 2013, where her course Biopsychology, one of the most difficult courses in the major, became one of the most highly evaluated psychology class.
Dr. Morsy became director of the Center for Student Wellbeing, Office of Student Support at the time, in 2015, and then the senior director in 2018. The office grew under her leadership with the addition of 2 full-time psychologists and over 15 part-timers, in addition to overseeing the academic risk counseling services as well as the student accessibility services. For all those who joined her team, the most valued time was attending case supervision, where she skillfully dissected a case and offered unerring therapeutic direction. She has been pivotal in guiding some of the most vulnerable students, in the most grim of circumstances, to successful graduation and improved mental health with her accurate diagnosis and client-focused therapeutic interventions.
What to do when you feel that one of your loved ones or your best friends actually have a mental health problem that you want to help.
She has been instrumental in promoting mental health awareness and reducing stigma at AUC. She has worked with various academic departments to provide training and support for students, and her efforts have contributed to a more open and supportive campus culture. She was recognized for her contributions by being appointed Chief Clinical Counselor.
No matter what I say, it will never express how much I appreciate your support on all fronts. Thank you for your continuous guidance. I will really miss our supervision, which is honestly the highlight of our week.
Oh la la, what do I say? Where do I begin? You are a legend. You are unreal. You are in a class of your own, unparalleled and inspirational on every level. We learned so much from you, professionally and personally.
Ola, it's the memories and the laughter and the things we shared together, special moments that made you so close to my heart.
يا رب يا علا اديكي كل السعادة اللي تستحقيها وكل الحب اللي تستحقيه وكل راحة بال على قد الحب اللي كنتي بتديه لكل الناس اللي حواليكي.
Your presence meant to us that all students' lives and all students' well-being are in safe hands.
I will never forget how you guide me without blame, without making me feel I've done something wrong.
مهما وصفت قد ايه انا كان شرف ليا اني اشتغلت مع حضرتك وان انا اعرف حضرتك مش هيكفي. شكرا شكرا من كل قلبي.
علمتينا ازاي نشتغل مع بعض as one team مش كل واحد لوحده. خليتي الصعب سهل بوجودك معانا. Thank you for your continuous support. Thank you for your unconditional love.
What you taught us on a daily basis and your 24/7 support, all of these made me realize how lucky I am to have you in my life.
كل مرة في السوبرفيجن كنت بحس إنه في معلومة جديدة حضرتك بتقولها لي وبحس إن أنا so inspired بقد إيه حضرتك knowledgeable وبكمية المعلومات اللي حضرتك عندك.
بدي أقول لك إنه أنا كتير محظوظة إنه تعرفت عليكي واشتغلنا سوا. بتمنى لك كل الخير whatever you do wherever you go.
How loving and understanding and empathetic you are as a psychiatrist, which is very rare to find in a psychiatrist. I really love and appreciate your genuineness, how humble you are, your high sense of humor.
I wanted to thank you for coming into the office every day with the sweetest smile وألذ greetings.
العلم والإنسانية اللي علمتيها لنا ملهاش حدود. وجودك وضحكتك دايما بيهونوا علينا.
كل مرة كنت بقعد قدام حضرتك just listening to you or seeking advice was truly mind-blowing.
You're not only my colleague, but also my beloved sister. I really appreciate every single moment I spent with you.
I know personally a lot of friends بجد دايما بيقولوا لغاية دلوقتي إنه لولا دكتور علا we've never been survived or graduated من الجامعة.
اتعلمت منك كتير في فترة صغيرة وبجد وحشاني قوي قوي قوي، والمصبرني شوية انه دي بداية جديدة لحضرتك ومكسب لأي مكان هتكوني فيه والله.
Our very deep, stretching supervision one-to-one meetings, our jokes in the office, not only but also phrase. The keep calm sign in your office has been the way that you modeled how to be calm during crisis.
So they told me to prepare something to say, but يعني بصراحة يعني I did it today morning because I was postponing and procrastinating. Amen. It was very tough for me to imagine myself writing something like that. Yeah, I imagined it as my relationship with AUC. Okay, so my relationship with AUC started at a very early age. Maybe 4, maybe 5, because I used my, like first scene of AUC in my mind is AUC Tahrir campus, where I used to go to there with my mother, who was back then doing her master's degree in some kind of mass comm role of mass comm in interstate conflicts in 1973 war. Okay, so as a very young child, I remember that we were always going to the library to find Jerusalem Post. Oh my goodness, Jerusalem Post is not available today, so there's a big problem and so on. I used to be, I'm an only child, so I always behaved well, I'm supposed to. And I used to sit in the library and read whatever books she gives me until she finishes. And then, because I behaved well, I would go have my treat in the old cafeteria, remember? And my biggest treat was back then, you will not imagine what. Remember the trays that were divided, like with very stupid thing, Later on, in old psychiatric hospitals, we have those trays so as not to be broken and stuff like that. So, but back then, I used to love it so much with the Dawood Basha in one plate and, like the other partition rows and stuff. Okay, so this was the first scene. The second scene was in 1985 when I was supposed to go to university and I wanted to go to medicine, and both my parents wanted me to come to AUC. And my mother told me, Ola, you're acquainted with AUC, you would love it. And actually back then, my only option at AUC was to study psychology. But I was very fond of medicine, so I chose medicine. And I remember on the same year, my father was actually, he was a professor of mechanical engineering. And very a strange coincidence back then is that he was on the committee that was accrediting the mechanical engineering at the time. And he thought, my father always thought that I have more of math, physics kind of mind, more than studying by heart and stuff for medicine. So he told me, up till now, the mechanical engineering is not yet ready at the university, but by the time you will graduate, it will be very good. And I went to medicine. Scene 3, I went to medicine, Ain Shams University, and as much as I was, quarreling with everyone, I want medicine and stuff. Oh my goodness, إيه اللي أنا عملته في نفسي ده? ايه ده جامعه شكلها غريب جدا وفين الكورتس وفين you know like فين الكافيتيريا فين no هو هناك بقى كشك عم سمير. This is the fanciest place, you know, like totally different place. So I said to myself, oh Ola, لا, not only but also there was the mashraha, okay? So, you know, like I had to compose myself, don't say anything, I will continue medicine, forget about the campus and those, you know, like trivial stuff. And then scene 4, back to AUC again in a very, it was by absolute coincidence, I was asked to come to the AUC clinic and at the same time the counseling center as a psychiatrist. Then it was a place where it was mainly run by psychologists, and there wasn't a big need for a psychiatrist, but you know, like I used to come just once a week, maximum twice a week or something. And this was in 2001, and I loved the place very much. Back then it was in Yusuf al-Gendi, if you all remember. So I used to be, you know, like it was a very strange arrangement back then that I'm affiliated with the clinic, so I'm downstairs, and then Dr. Hana El-Adi is the one who witnessed this. Yes, exactly. So the whole arrangement was very weird that I'm affiliated with the clinic downstairs and at the same time with the counseling in the floor 5. And Ola, please, we need you downstairs. Ola, please, we need you upstairs. And I was, you know, like in the lift all the day, trying to see as much possible people as I could. And then this is when it started. I went to UK afterwards for a couple of years, but when I went back, I was asked to come again to AUC. The people that I knew at AUC, the team, if we're saying Dr. Hana in the clinic, there was Dr. Horeya, who was a lovely lady, who was back then the director of the counseling center. I knew at that time friends that remained the best friends I have since then. Iman Omri, Alia Muntasir, Shireen Khalil, Abir Barbari. We were a lovely team, and we started from there. Alia, you know, like couldn't continue for long at AUC, but me and Iman, we stayed. When I came 2004, I found other members like Shireen, Ramzi, like Marwa Hussein, and I found that our team is getting bigger. And then it was on and off stuff. Every time someone else comes. And 2008, Ahmed, our backbone, our such a great person. Yani I call him Ahmed the Great. So better than Alexander the Great. With all due respect, Alexandra Gazis. Huh? And of course, back then the leader of the whole place was Dr. Fiteha, who was a marvelous man with high ethical standards, and he actually had this ability to choose the best people for the best jobs, and he made a wonderful team. And Dr. Fiteha always said that we are different, we are unique, and he had the full right to say so. Later in 2009, the team, some people were added to the team, Alexandra Gazis, the famous Sandra, and the start of the disability and all of this. Salma Shaib, she used to be with us, and we're missing her a lot. Yasmin Abu Freikha, you know, like she became one of the little sister that I have, and one of the great counselors. And then, maybe a couple of years later, I asked Amal Badib, also another great sister, who I knew a long time before as a shrewd clinician with great clinical acumen, And back then, when I offered her to come as a part-time, I remember very well that I was going to lose my Professor Okesha because he got really, how come you come and take Amal from us, and so on. Maybe the only quarrel I had with him. And the whole university became, like part of who I am, part of my daily routine. The team became like a real family to me. I come every day, every single day, for my family and for the students. I remember very well that when I was asked by Dr. Fatiha, who offered me a full-time job in 2009, and told me, Ola, we need you because the mental health crisis is increasing and we're unable to, cater all the demands, so you will be needed as full-time. Back then, I remember I was unable to tell my godfather and Professor Okesha, how will I leave him, And he was actually emotionally manipulating me. Yeah, you will leave me for those American people and stuff like that. And he told me, how come you leave your job as a consultant psychiatrist in the hospital and you go, you're like, doing what? Doing what? A social worker, can you do your job? No, doctor, of course not. And then actually later, like a couple of years later or something like that, I used to find people referring cases to me, people that I know, like very good names in psychiatry and so on, but maybe they don't have enough time. When I sit with this referred person, they say, you're at AUC, go for Ola for therapy, she's good. I see the person and I find that maybe this is actually something more deep and stuff like that. I was able to discover any kind of abnormality or any kind of challenge a student might have that might have psychiatric outsourced, didn't have the real time to really elicit such symptoms. Okay. We will pause a minute, yes. Dr. Dalal? Okay. Okay. Okay, so as you know, like 75% of mental health issues start at this age of 18 to 24, which is the age of university students. So if anybody will have anything to, to be a challenge in mental health, usually it starts at this age. So I went back to him, by the way, doctor, I'm more important, my job there is more important than your job here. So he told me, how come? I told him, yes, because I discover things when they are still in the prodromal phase, so I can save them earlier and my intervention can work better. But when you have them, khalas, they're already, they have been through the illness, they have been through treatment, and they go to the big doctor that will, so a bit too late when you receive them and so on. Regarding the team, I cannot, if I talk until tomorrow, I won't say how the team had, how the memories, how the connection, the team had been, we've been through the thick and thin, we've been through the challenges and at the same time, the triumphs. Nobody that haven't worked at CSW can imagine our happiness and our sense of achievement when we see one of our struggling students wearing the cap and gown. Yes, then we say the tussle was worth the hassle, and you cannot imagine. I'm sure our team would remember those moments of people that we couldn't ever imagine that they can graduate, and they graduated, and it was amazing moments when people would tell you that You affected me in a way that maybe, I would have never had this impact anywhere in my life other than coming to the CSW. The whole team is fantastic, and I'm sure they will lead a wonderful new era in their therapeutic management. And of course, the whole team also, Iman and what she does with the at risk, and Sandra with all what she does with the disability, and all the team. And I don't want to forget anything. I want to also, because I said the older generation, I want to also mention the younger generation that joined later. Gloria, for example. So I was saying, because I'm the oldest, so I have the younger generation, Sandra, Iman, and so on, 5 years younger, and then the much younger, 10 years younger or so, like Amal Badiba and Yasmin Freika and Shireen Ramzi, حصغرك شوية. Biro, I didn't mention Biro. Biro is Abir Abdel Raouf. She is the famous Abir Abdel Raouf. She joined us in 2015, and she was actually a very accomplished counselor with 2 masters, one in sociology and one in psychology. She worked with Sandra in disability, and then she worked with Iman in the at risk, and then she worked with the counseling. Abir is, is a great asset. That she's like a sister. I have too many sisters. And Ahmed, the brother, in spite that I'm an only child, okay? Who else? So the young generation, Gloria is the age of my children. So, yes, so I don't want to forget anything, but I want to thank people who stood by us in our mission. I don't want to forget anyone, but all the faculty that were extremely supportive to students that really had an issue. For example, Professor Swenson long ago, Dr. Khalid Dahawi, Dr. Mervat Abu Auf, the famous Tito, who is, Tito, we have someone that, of course, yes. And Dr. Amr, everyone that we have dealt with were, great people. Dr. Dalil, I think you should come and say something.
I really didn't mean to stop Ola. What she has to say is much more important than what I have to say. If I'm to say one thing is, in my experience with Ola, I really know how much she cared for the students she cared for. It's not an easy job, the job that she has undertaken, and the level of commitment and the level of care for the students is really remarkable. It's something that will always stick to my mind. Thank you, Ola, for everything that you've done. You'll be missed.
I don't want to forget anybody, but I will go back to our team. My notebook. Okay. I'm trying not to be emotional at all, huh? At all. We have also a great team of part-time psychiatrists. The first one that joined was Dr. Reem Hashim. She's a professor of psychiatry in Ain Shams University. She was generous enough to give us 1 or 2 of her days. Dr. Nahawat Adel Madani, one of the lovely psychiatrists, very, she's our model. She's our Barbie. Okay, and the last but not least, the great, great, great Dr. Omar Yahya, who's a great part-time psychiatrist. Everybody loves him, and thank you so much for being there, backing me up and backing up the team all the time. The teamwork of our team is unique, non-describable. The fun and the humor during the time of stress, you cannot imagine. I cannot imagine how we used to laugh and, make a real kind of joking in the most difficult situations. Thank you, the new generation that joined last year, Layla Fahmi, Amal Abdu, Myrna the Myrna الثورجية بنسميها. I also want to thank the clinic, Dr. Bassem and Dr. Marwa, and of course, are they here? And Amir Habib is the most important person in the university. He has the budget. Old colleagues that I used to love and cherish and left us before, like Ghada Hazem, my lovely neighbor. Thank you for coming. Sohair Saad, the great leader of the whole scholarship office. Solef and all our work together. The psychology department, Dr. Hani Henry, Dr. Kate Ellis, Dr. Carrie Forden. I don't want to miss anybody. Dr. Hassan Zaki, lovely people. Dr. Mona Amer, the one who founded the department, actually. The great Mona Amer, who changed the psychology from being just a part or a unit of the Sept to a whole department. I'm sure I'm overwhelmed, missing names, but every single person in this university have impacted me a lot, and I want to thank every single Dr. Magda Abdel Fattah, the whole HR thing. I cannot thank who and who and who. Thank you so much, Solef, everybody. Rasha, thank you for coming, one of the lovely people who also left AUC earlier. And the great Sausan Mardini, whom we lost last year. She was a great, great colleague. Thank you all. Thank you all. Just a moment. The CLT, like Mahabali, like Hoda, like, of course, Dr. Aziza Al-Lozi, who sent me a beautiful message to tell me that she won't be able to come today, but she had always been a great, great leader. Dr. Moga Badran, thank you for coming. Dr. Moga Badran. Yes, I think I forgot other people. Like, for example, Manar Zaki. Is she here? Manar Zaki, she's the registrar, the university registrar. I know Manar since we were in 8th grade, right? When we had Miss Ramses, right? Yeah, I knew her from the school, and we used to sit next to each other and, swap sign books and stuff. The great Manar. Every single person in this room and outside this room had really impacted me. Thank you so, so, so much. And if I forgot anyone, please, 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 you're all on my mind, really. Thank you.
A few people have requested to say a few words about Dr. Ola Morsy. I think we're starting with Dr. Mahabeli.
I need to look her in the eye when I'm saying this. Okay. I'm going to be very quick, so give me a minute just to talk to Ola, okay? All right. So Ola, you came into my life and you saved me in the darkest moment of my life. Doesn't matter. I'm talking to you. You saved me before you knew me at all. And I feel like what you do, caring about people's well-being, is not your career. It's who you are as a person. And every time I entered your office, I felt better. And I can't imagine that that safe space doesn't exist anymore. What you made of this center, you made well-being central to AUC. There's nowhere else in Egypt that does what you have done with this center. I can't imagine AUC without you, but I know that you're going to stay in everybody's lives because you love people. You're not just doing this because it's your job. So you're always going to be in my heart and in the hearts of everyone who's ever been touched by you. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Ola. Dr. Ola, this comes straight from a former student. That day I saw that I had, I'm very sorry, this is just a very sincere message that I really am trying to focus before I start. There we go. Dr. Ola, I couldn't even prepare anything to say من كتر ما I've been extremely overwhelmed with emotions and like it's a roller coaster of emotions just trying to really understand that this is actually happening. I recall that day when I saw your name on my banner and it was a dream come true. I'm like very, very serious. Everybody has been saying Dr. Ola Morsy, don't miss her course, abnormal psychoshop. That day it was called so. لا استنى لا ده مهم قوي نقربه. And that day was a dream come true. The very first time I had met you, when we were just introducing ourselves, you just left a great impression just from the very first time I've seen you. And not only, but also, I guess this is the thing you say the most, but throughout the course, throughout the years, and up till this very day, you've been remarkable. You've been iconic. No one have I ever met in my life who's even similar to who you are. You care about us as students. And you know what? Not just as students, on a very human level, if I may say. This is exactly who you are. You're a mother. You've been a mother, not just for me. I'm just talking on the behalf of the whole class, if not the whole student body. You've been a figure for each and every one of us. You've made the most complex and complicated concepts. And can we listen, please? Can we listen, please? I've learned this. You've made the most complex and the most difficult concepts, disorders, you've made it extremely simple with your way and your style and how you explained everything in class. And you, by just being there and acting everything out just to simplify things for us and for us to, wow, we're really entertained as we get to know those very difficult stuff that are really happening outside of the world. And the limbic system. And not to mention the Arabic that you had taught us all throughout. I mean, like, أنتك خاينة. You're very special. And when I just got the farewell invite, I was shocked. I ran out of words. I just couldn't say anything. You're really going to be missed. AUC is never going to be AUC again. I promise you. And I really wish you all the best, because they always say every ending is a new beginning. And I'm sure your new beginning is going to be massive. It's going to be great. I love you. Sorry, Dr. Abir.
Our be the lost to talk to you. So for those who don't know me, I've been working at the scholarships office and with scholarships since 2008.
Can we listen, please? Can we listen, please?
لا خلاص هنخبط. I've been working at the LEAD scholarship, if anyone remembers the LEAD scholarship. So we all know that college students suffer from, so they're discovering themselves, they have issues with their identity. So just imagine how things have been for the LEAD students coming from Egypt's 27 governorates for the very first time, introducing the first major scholarship at AUC. And without Ola and the well-being team, I can say for a fact that many of these students would have never graduated from AUC. The number of challenges they faced and the support they've been given, really, really, many of these students would never have graduated from AUC, and some of them would not have made it at all. So in behalf of all scholarship students who've made it, thank you, Ola, for your support.
Malish, one more person.
Hi, Dr. Ola. Anna Caroline Mitri, you might not remember me. We've had a very short encounter recently. This was totally unplanned. I just came because I wanted to say goodbye. I know you don't know me, maybe just a name on your email communication, very briefly. But even with this very short encounter that we had, you were very kind, supportive. It's really made a difference, even if it's just few text messages between us that happened very recently. I haven't known you for a long time like others. I haven't worked with you directly, but seriously, it was so important for me to express that to you and know how much a very short encounter between us really meant a lot. Thank you. Thank you just for being you.
Hi شباب. I'm trying to look young. وجاية مخصوص in a very colorful, but I retired AUC 9 years ago. And until today, until yesterday, until tomorrow, I always have a big heart to back on and to support and to be supported with. مش هعرف أقول لكم يعني people say there are things nothing is indispensable. However, big hearts and with passion and sincerity and integrity and love and hard work is something always precious to keep. and to stay in touch with. I love you, Ola. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being in my life.
It's not the loss of Ola that I'm concerned about amongst faculty, well amongst her lovely team. It's among the loss that's unrepairable, that I hope we would not regret for the loss she would keep for our students. I think nobody would give them what she gives them, and I don't think that we will ever be in good hands as we used to be. Thank you, Ola. Thank you on behalf of every single student. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's just a very, very short sentence. This is exactly how good people are influencing and impacting the community. بجد, thank you very much. We started as work colleagues and ended as friends. I love you very much, and I love the impact you have on everyone. Thank you, Ola.
Dr. Ashraf Nasser, the professor of mechanical engineering, was
Yes, thank you.
the great supporter.
I want to thank Dr. Ola actually for saving lives. Unfortunately, during my lifetime in Canada, before I joined ASE, I've seen situations of psychiatry among students which ended up in disasters. And I cannot count the times when I figured out a student who looked in distress. And I asked him to please go to the well-being office, go to Dr. Ola Morsy. Actually, we know each other from other venues. And lives were saved. So I don't think any thank you would be enough. It's just the Almighty would be the one who can reward you for that. Thank you so much, Dr. Ola.
Hello, everybody. So I've been pushed to the stage. I didn't want to come up here because I didn't want to get emotional. But there's one thing that really strikes me about today. I've been to so many of these farewells for so many people at AUC. And there's one thing that's very different about this farewell, is that the people who are coming up here to talk and to talk about what they feel about Ola, you can see how much they love her. And that you can see how much that she has really affected their lives. There's some kind of special moment or transition or transformation, some kind of impact. You really feel the sincerity and the genuinity of the people who are standing here talking about Ola. So it's not really like formalities or people just saying things to put things on on a piece of paper or whatever, right? And I think this is because this is representative of who she is. very genuine, loving, caring. She has this breadth around her to be able to, to basically take care of so many people in so many places. You've heard from students, from staff, from people who are working on campus. I will say that Ola has really stepped in time and time and time again for major crises that I have faced, other people have faced, and it really, really made a difference. I don't know what I would have done had she not been here. So I'm one of the other people who are saying similar things as everybody else.
So if nobody else would like to say anything at this point, we will replay the video one more time. Many people came after we showed the video tribute to Dr. Ola's journey at AUC.
This is not the end of our life. When being stuck doesn't mean that it's خلاص, we're hopeless. You will feel how resilient you are, being bumped by certain hardships and then going up again and then going up again, even when things are repeatedly not very fortunate. You will really feel that it was, when you felt the story was over, actually it wasn't over at all. It was just the beginning.
In the heart of AUC, a journey began, a journey of compassion, dedication, and unwavering belief in the power of mental health. Dr. Ola Morsy's story is woven into the tapestry of this institution.
Become impatient when watching something like a proper speech or a proper presentation or something like that.
In 1991, Dr. Morsy graduated from Faculty of Medicine, Ain Shams University, aiming to specialize in psychiatry. She obtained her Master's of Science degree in Neurology and Psychiatry in 1996, and then obtained her Arab Board certification in Psychiatry in 2001. She was studying and working under the world-renowned professor of psychiatry, Dr. Ahmed Akasha, former president of World Psychiatric Association and former director of WHO. Collaborating Center for Research and Training in Mental Health recently renamed the Akasha Institute of Psychiatry.
Dr. Morsy first joined AUC as a part-time counseling psychiatrist at the old campus in 2001, when the counseling center was a small center at the top floor of a building on Yusuf El Gindi Street. She moved to England shortly after, only to return once again in 2004, marking the beginning of a long journey of dedication to AUC, its students, and a mission to set the stage for community-wide mental health. She was asked to work as a full-time psychiatrist in the center in 2009.
They are very sensitive when the person goes into stress by any means.
Dr. Morsy joined the psychology department teaching faculty in 2013, where her course Biopsychology, one of the most difficult courses in the major, became one of the most highly evaluated psychology class.
Dr. Morsy became director of the Center for Student Wellbeing, Office of Student Support at the time in 2015, and then the senior director in 2018. The office grew under her leadership with the addition of 2 full-time psychologists and over 15 part-timers, in addition to overseeing the academic risk counseling services as well as the student accessibility services. For all those who joined her team, the most valued time was attending case supervision, where she skillfully dissected a case and offered unerring therapeutic direction. She has been pivotal in guiding some of the most vulnerable students in the most grim of circumstances to successful graduation and improved mental health with her accurate diagnosis and client-focused therapeutic interventions.
What to do when you feel that one of your loved ones or your best friends actually have a mental health problem that you want to help.
She has been instrumental in promoting mental health awareness and reducing stigma at AUC. She has worked with various academic departments to provide training and support for students, and her efforts have contributed to a more open and supportive campus culture. She was recognized for her contributions by being appointed Chief Clinical Counselor
what I say, it will never express how much I appreciate your support on all fronts. Thank you for your continuous guidance. I will really miss our supervision, which is honestly the highlight of our week.
Oh la la, what do I say? Where do I begin? You are a legend. You are unreal. You are in a class of your own, unparalleled and inspirational on every level. We learned so much from you, professionally and personally.
Ola, it's the memories and the laughter and the things we shared together, special moments that made you so close to my heart.
يا رب يا علا يديكي كل السعادة اللي تستحقيها وكل الحب اللي تستحقيه وكل راحة بال على قد الحب اللي كنتي بتديه لكل الناس اللي حواليكي.
Your presence meant to us that all students' lives and all students' well-being are in safe hands.
I will never forget how you guide me without blame, without making me feel I've done something wrong.
مهما وصفت قد ايه انا كان شرف ليا اني اشتغلت مع حضرتك وان انا اعرف حضرتك مش هيكفي. شكرا من كل قلبي.
علمتينا ازاي نشتغل مع بعض as one team مش كل واحد لوحده. خليتي الصعب سهل بوجودك معانا. Thank you for your continuous support. Thank you for your unconditional love.
What you taught us on a daily basis and your 24/7 support, all of these made me realize how lucky I am to have you in my life.
كل مرة في السوبرفيجن كنت بحس إنه في معلومة جديدة حضرتك بتقولها لي وبحس إن أنا so inspired بقد إيه حضرتك knowledgeable وبكمية المعلومات اللي حضرتك عندك.
بدي أقول لك إنه أنا كتير محظوظة إنه تعرفت عليكي واشتغلنا سوا. أتمنى لك كل الخير whatever you do wherever you go.
How loving and understanding and empathetic you are as a psychiatrist, which is very rare to find in a psychiatrist. I really love and appreciate your genuineness, how humble you are, your high sense of humor.
I wanted to thank you for coming into the office every day with the sweetest smile وألذ greetings.
العلم والإنسانية اللي علمتيها لنا ملهاش حدود. وجودك وضحكتك دايما بيهونوا علينا.
كل مرة كنت بقعد قدام حضرتك just listening to you or seeking advice was truly mind-blowing.
You're not only my colleague, but also my beloved sister. I really appreciate every single moment I spent with you.
I know personally a lot of friends بجد دايما بيقولوا لغاية دلوقتي إنه لولا دكتور علا we've never been survived or graduated من الجامعة.
اتعلمت منك كتير في فترة صغيرة وبجد وحشاني قوي قوي قوي. والمصبرني شوية إنه دي بداية جديدة لحضرتك ومكسب لأي مكان هتكوني فيه والله.
Our very deep, stretching supervision one-to-one meetings, our jokes in the office, not only but also phrase. The keep calm sign in your office has been the way that you modeled how to be calm during crisis.